You know how sometimes the drums of your track just sounds a little bit off, like something doesn't sit right? It's because you're trying to fix the wrong thing. If you want your drums to sound crisp without compromising their clarity, it's all about placing them in the right place in the mix. Also, if you're struggling to get your music to sound professional, check out my course Start to Finish. It helps producers like Yassine, Bruno, Adam, and many others to play in festivals, clubs, and even on BBC Radio. But more about that later. So, step number 1 is layering. One of my clients used to do this a lot. Add a lot of processing to the drums, like drum bus, saturation and compression, but it really just made his drums sound harsh and a little bit uncomfortable, unpleasant to the ear. They just didn't sit right in the mix. This is a mistake I used to do a lot as well. And the way to fix that is not by adding more processing, is by layering. And there is 3 very good reasons why you want to layer your sounds. So, first of all, let's take this clap. Sounds really nice, it's really rich around the mid frequencies. Now, you can't take an EQ and just boost the low frequencies, right? It's missing some lower frequencies, some body. It doesn't have a rich body because an EQ or a saturator can only work with what it has, and it can't add something that doesn't exist. That's why you want to layer your clap. That's the first reason for layering your drums. In this case, I found a snare that has rich body, something like this. Now, you might ask yourself, how would I know if my snare has rich body to it? Good question. And the first thing that you want to do, if you're not sure, is just look at the EQ. Use this headphone feature so you can actually listen to the individual band. And just scan like that through the frequency spectrum and try to figure out what are the nice frequencies about the snare. Right, all of those frequencies in the bottom, that's the body of the snare, they sound really, really nice. So we know that's where the character of this snare. So I used an EQ to isolate the character of the snare and the drum. Fuck, I'm so sorry. And together they sound like this. But I didn't want to end there, because it's still missing some high frequencies. So I found something like this. It sounds kind of splashy. It has a tail which is useful, and we can just isolate the character with an EQ, so obviously the character is in the higher frequencies. Now, this exact combination might not work for techno, but for techno, you might just want a snare without the body. You might want also to distort it a little bit. And if it's Psytrance, you might want a snare that sounds like this. Now, this is with the clap, but now let's talk about the hi-hat, because I will do a similar thing there. I started with this sample, just like a distorted open hat, and I wanted to isolate the character with an EQ, so I did this. Sounds so much cleaner, but I then added another layer to fill in the missing spaces, so something that sounds a little bit more clicky. I wanted to make it a bit more splashy, so I added this sample. Like this, it's making it sound really smooth. Here, we didn't really fill the lower frequencies, mid frequencies and higher frequencies, but what we did is choosing hats which have different characters so they complement each other. So reason number 1 to layer your clap, your hats, your snares is to make them sound fuller and more powerful, but remember that there are 2 more reasons why you want to layer these elements, but I will reveal the answer at the end of the video. In the meantime, if you feel like you know these 2 answers, then do pause the video, write it down in the comments, and I'm really curious to see what you can come up with. Now, the next step is going to help to bring this entire loop into life, and that is our hi-hat grooves, or the top loops. If you want people to be dancing to your groove, you need something good going on. Just a hat, a snare, and a kick, it's just a little bit boring. Like, come on, like, we need something a bit more than that. We need those little hits that have different volumes, that will make people move and kind of filling the gaps between the hat, between the clap, between the kick. So start with taking a hat loop. Something like this could do. But don't be like most producers, just throw it into your beat and call it a day, because these specific loops were not made for your specific track. Take the time to chop it around and use the different volume of the hats to fill in the space, as I said, between the kick, the clap, and your hats. And you can do the same thing with literally any percussion loops. You all have amazing samples, I'm sure. You can easily layer this with some sort of a top loop. This has quite a cool rhythm to it. How about we add this? Because they have different character, they will fit together. But notice that this has a lot of like claps and hats that we don't need. So how about we start chopping it around, make it fit a rhythm. Obviously, isolate the character with EQ. Now we have a much more interesting loop going on because I chopped just certain parts of this loop. So step number 2 is nailing your groove. And notice that we did the same thing with the layering here as well. By the way, did you already guess the second and the third reason for layering your claps, snares, and hats? If you did, don't forget to write it down in the comments. I'm really looking forward to see what you can come up with. So step number 3 is what helps to split the track into phrases or into short segments. And I'm using drum fills to do that. Like, if the track is just staying consistent all the time, the listener just gets bored. And drum fills are a great way to indicate if you have a new element being introduced, or if you're transitioning from one part to another, or if you're doing a call and response, if that's what you're after. So this is how I will do it. So go to your fills library. I like to choose acoustic fills, but you don't have to. And something like this will work quite well. But don't just take it and drop it into your beat, because they're not quite on the grid. This is going to sound a little bit weird, and also has a kick here which can interfere with your kick and the bass. Listen to this. It just sounds a little bit off. So what you do is you take the time to chop these and only use the hits that you want, and then adding a little bit of reverb on top to make it sound cohesive. Also notice that I took all of the drums here away to create space for that fills. Like, imagine if you're a drummer in a concert, you're playing like check, check. You're gonna leave these and then be like right? Like, so make it sound realistic. It will bring things up to life. You're not gonna have too many layers competing for each other, for the space of each other. I also added a little bit of panning. Just notice that, how it moves from side to side. That also helps to bring things into life. So, as I mentioned before, there are 2 more reasons why you want to layer the main elements of your drums. The hat, the clap, or the snare. So the first one is to enhance the groove. I went ahead and added a little fade right here. And you can see that these hats go from closed to open. And also the fade on this and this are a little bit different. Notice how much of a difference that makes compared to before. Some of the hats are a bit more snappier, some are a bit more open, and together it sounds like someone is actually playing it. But the third reason is something that no one is really talking about it. Now, you know when you go to a concert and the DJ is playing this like really amazing tune and there is a breakdown and it's getting intensified and then the drop happens and it has so much impact. If you want that as well, you need to start with less energy. Electronic music is all about tension and release, adding and removing energy, and your drums carry a lot of energy. That's why in certain parts of my track, I will actually remove all the layers. Notice the difference in the energy level when it's going from the first part of the track to the second part of my track. So as I mentioned before, if you struggle to produce professional quality music, then check out my program Start to Finish. Inside you will find 4 different courses. First, I want you to become a producer like Adam, who went from almost quitting to producing more than 60 tracks in the last year. Then I want you to have a system for producing every element of your track, so there is no guesswork. Just producing one track after the other and enjoying the process of being creative. Then you will see me taking all of that knowledge and creating a track from scratch. Then you will learn how I mix and master a student's track. And you will also join a community where you can ask questions, post your tracks for feedback, and join a weekly live stream. So, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you in the next one. Peace.